Coming to stage right now, we got Karan. Woo! How are you doing? I want to be one of those crowds people like do do do. You know those people? Those guys in crowds go do 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 do. Do do. It's only a guy thing, but guys, it's like a I don't know. It's like a comedy show recently. A bunch of guys even like do 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 instead of cheering. Do. It's like one of those things. Like you make a decision at some point in your life whether you're gonna be the guy who does that or the guy who cheers normally. You know, you can't do that. I tried that in an event. I was like do do. Nobody like joined in. It was an awkward car ride home. Just these people that like, so Karan, you turned into Donkey Kong for. I was like, what happened there? You know? It's like only a guy. Like it's like I'm cheering, but as a man. You know, it's like this resonated with my balls. Do, 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 do.
Okay. The basic premise was that I came into senior year, and all my roommates had graduated. Like, I lived with these guys since freshman year through senior year, and then they didn't take gap years, but I did. So then, this is my first time living, like, solo without these guys.
Okay.
And then I was like, I gotta make more friends. So, but how? That's the question.
Yeah, how do you make friends?
How do you make friends? That's, like, the question of the whole project, basically. Is, like, and also, like, regards to, like, the guys with other guys.
True.
How many close friends would you say you have?
How many close friends would I say I have?
Or how would you define close friend?
That's a good question. Ooh. There's different levels of close friend.
Yeah. What are the levels?
I'm just saying I talk about it.
Okay.
Friendship is like a garden,
A garden.
right?
Okay.
There are seeds,
Yeah.
there are sprouts,
Sprouts.
there are flowers,
Oh my god.
and there are trees.
Oh my god.
But like in this weird garden, flowers can become trees. But like
Okay.
there are people who are like, they're like a seed. Like they could be a friend, but right now they're like a high and by.
Yeah.
Then there are like sprouts. It's like it's a budding friendship. It
Yes.
needs more effort into it in order to become a flower.
Yeah.
And then the trees are like the homes.
That's really interesting because I've also thought of it as like a garden type thing.
Yeah, you water them
Yeah. You water
with your
them.
love.
With girls being friends with girls versus guys being friends with guys. Or have you noticed this? Like girls tend to have just closer friendships with each other and tend to make close friends more quickly, or like have friends that they tell everything to.
Yeah,
Why do you think it's not that way with guys as much?
it's a good point. I think it's way easier to make friends with girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of girlfriends here. I think with guys, it's like we're definitely trying to like gauge the situation heavy. Like, let's say I meet you at a party, right?
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine a situation where I go up to like a random, like a guy, and like we're both like just asking questions about like, oh yeah, tell me about your life, tell me about this, tell me about blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine that like situation and then us becoming friends. You know, like it's I don't. But with girls, it's like girls definitely want to get to know people. Like they're like. They're really interested in all like the little like nitpicks of your life.
Yeah.
They want to know about like your like where are you from? What do you do? What do you like to do? What are your relationships are like? You know they like to listen.
And when
to
they
that
ask,
stuff.
you want to tell them. Like
Yeah, because I'm like, oh shit, I guess I've been holding this in. Let me discuss.
Yeah.
And it's like I can say this shit to my guy friends, but also like I have guy friends that are in relationships and they don't say a word about like the conflicts in that relationship.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they never do because I
what do you think they're scared of?
I think they're just scared as shit. I don't know. I don't know, bro. It's very interesting.
What my family does is we gather with 5 other Indian families in our neighborhood for Thanksgiving, all of whom are on the brink of divorce. 6, they say it's all of us. You know, statistically, that they say like 50% of marriages end in divorce. All 50% of those are in New Jersey. It turns out. My dad, before this first one, he didn't tell anybody. He went to Home Depot, got a shit ton of wood and an axe. He went to the backyard, just started chopping. Didn't tell anybody. We were like, my brother and I were like, should we join him? we just went and started chopping it. And there's a part of a man's soul. I don't know if you guys can feel this, but that just wants to chop wood. You just want to go out there, chop some fucking wood. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, meet me out back after this. I got an axe.
You and I, like, I don't think I've seen you in full conflict before. You know? I think, like, the closest it's come is, like, that I think that's the most I've seen you in conflict.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Because afterwards, I know you were like, dude, that was, like, I hated that was so uncalled for.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to get to know this guy more.
Okay,
Because I think that builds definitely a strong friendship. If I've seen you in conflict, I've seen, like, and we're able to communicate that with each other.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. But you're very, like, I feel like you kind of, like, you try to keep the conflict at home so that you can bring, like, a better energy outside of home. Is that kind of what it is?
I think it is, yeah. Do you think that?
I know you're stressed, bro. I know you got so much.
Yeah. Thank you for picking up on that. Yeah, I definitely am always not trying to let it come out. But then I think people have told me like I'm a closed book, and then I was like,
people told me that too, bro.
Yeah. I think I'm doing everyone a favor.
Yes, me too.
But really, they're like, I don't know anything about you. I don't know what you look like in conflict, and I don't know. You've never been vulnerable with anybody.
Yeah.
What do you think about your friendship with me?
Oh,
I'll say that.
All right, I'm gonna lay down a thing right now that I ever since my sister went abroad, you are my emergency contact.
Oh,
now.
sick!
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I don't know my cousin's address and he just lives farther away.
Okay.
So I mean, like you pick me up
I'm
from the
honored.
airport. I feel like we are very close. And I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I would love to remain close even after you graduate. But I do think
fires are great. You know, we built the fire all sat around. Great way to bond with your dad. If anyone's having trouble bonding with their father, just build a fire. A fire gives you something to look at. You know, I think the main problem with bonding with your dad is eye contact. You put a dad in front of a fire, after 5 minutes he starts talking about how his mother smelled. just things just start coming out. It's like the 60s were a different time. You're like, talk about it. You know? What's going on, Uday? You know,
Could you say who you are for the recording?
Uday Menon. I'm your dad.
Cool.
I'm trying to think, why is it that men are the way they are? Why is it that why are they different from women, for instance?
Yeah.
Why do they not sit around and talk and, you know, all the things that you were saying that women do? And I think one reason is that men, you know, this business of role model. I mean, the role of a man.
Yeah.
Which is to take care of his family, which means putting food on the table, right? I mean, getting a job. That we were consumed by that idea.
Yeah.
So we went to a professional college. We went to engineering school and to become engineers. That was the sole purpose of our existence out there. And your personal development, your personal anxieties and all that are brushed under the carpet because, you know, this is more important than everything else. One of the guys who used to live in our wing, you know, he was part of our gang. He committed suicide. It was very sad.
Did he talk to any of you about what he was going through, like at home, or?
No, he didn't. That's the thing. You know, so our friendships, even though we thought we were good friends, I think there was a line. There was a sort of unwritten. There were certain things that you could share, and other things that it would never occur to you to even bring up. So being vulnerable was considered a big no-no. Which is the opposite of what you guys to sort of make a virtue of it, right?
Yeah.
At least this generation, the people are very, I mean, they don't hesitate to discuss their vulnerabilities. I used to have trouble even saying things like, that hurt me, or you hurt me by when you said X. I couldn't even say that. I couldn't even, because even stating that I was hurt is an admission of vulnerability.
Yeah.
So I've never used that sentence.
Yeah, I think that's how most of my friendships were built in like high school, and even college, was just like I could make you laugh.
Yeah.
And maybe you had this too, like humor I think helped me a lot.
Right.
And then
You want to be seen as the cool guy. Everybody wants to be the cool guy.
yeah.
And so there's a set of values that everyone cherishes. And the more of those you have, the higher your stock. So now suddenly, after working so hard to build up your stock, if you were to reveal a side of you that shows your vulnerability and your weakness, then that stock value could drop.
So you've never had a best friend?
I've had best friends. I've never cried in front of anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure like when you were growing up, that was like especially in like media, I feel like the movies weren't giving you a different story.
Yeah, then in the movies, men don't cry. The girl howls, the men don't cry.
Yeah.
They'll go get drunk, but they don't cry.
And I think that you still there's still tons of time, I think. Like you still...
Yeah.
And you
No, I
have...
want to work on that. I want to be able to talk to you and Dun, like this, and talk more often. Just pick up the phone and call you. Many times I think about doing it, and then I sort of back off from that.
Okay, let me just read you this conclusion, actually. I'll just read you the conclusion, you let me know what you think. This might be bad, but this is the first draft. When crafting an idea for my senior year capstone project, I was advised to tackle the question that I could not graduate without answering, the question that my entire college career had been asking. It's hard to look back at 5 years of your life and find one neat overarching thesis. So much has happened, so many phases have come and gone, psychologically, to say nothing of the pandemic, which split my college existence into 3 distinct chunks, before, during, and after. In fact, if there's any unifying theme to my time at USC, it's been the splitting up of experiences into mental compartments. The more I think about it, the more I see my entire conception of myself can be defined by this compartmentalization, this construction of boxes around experiences to make each one feel like a neat, consistent story that makes sense and feels true, by means of blocking from view any contradictory experiences sitting in other areas of my brain that may challenge this story. Parts of myself are not allowed to look at other parts of myself, or the whole illusion crumbles. Walls go up everywhere. A wall between student Karan and social Karan, a wall between pre-COVID Karan and post-COVID Karan, American Karan and Indian Karan, Karan the friend and Karan the stranger, Karan around men and Karan around women, happy Karan, sad Karan, angry Karan, strong Karan, weak Karan, good Karan and bad Karan. All exist in their separate compartments, like rooms in a museum for others to stroll through, some open for viewing, some closed to the public, with programs changing every day. I see now that this is what it means to be lonely. The act of compartmentalizing is by definition the act of abandonment, of disconnecting from parts of oneself, of closing the lid on them. It is also the primary action I have associated my whole life with what it means to be a man. Men handle pain. Men take all the pain you can give them. They take it by the grocery bag. They carry it into their studio apartment. And they gently
place each piece on the mantelpiece, or in a shelf, or in the cabinet with the pots, and they shuffle over to their IKEA bed, and they take a seat and look quietly around the room. The question my entire college career has been asking them is, how do I bring down those walls? How do I merge all of these rooms into the one person that I am? Contradictions and all. And what happens when I do that, and will I be okay with what I find?
Baba. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay.